Welcome to Transitions, Endings Are Beginnings. We're really excited to be here with you guys tonight and share in all of the guidance that we'll all be receiving together. So from tonight, we'll be providing you with multiple resources and tools that we feel are going to be really helpful as we transition from 2021 into 2022, or through any other transitions and experiences that you're in the midst of at this time, because there's so many different transitions that are happening at the same time. It's not just like the end of a year into another year. There's so much confusion and kind of chaos about what's going on. And so with all of the transits, we are really excited to dive into our hypnosis resources, our Akashic realm resources, and we're going to have a surprise reading with our friend Jackie Franco for a tarot reading at the end of this event as well. So we're really excited to bring 3 awesome modalities to you guys to bring us information, tools, and resources to help us out. So to kick it all off, we'd like to introduce ourselves for those of you who don't know us yet. So Désirée, would you like to jump in and share a little bit of background and explain what hypnosis is and what you'll be bringing tonight?
Sure. Yes. So I'm a hypnotist and a dream guide, which is really just like that. I work with all the levels of the subconscious mind and, find ways to integrate them into the everyday. My dog Molly is here. I think she's about to start one of her little coughing episodes. She always has to make herself known. So just pardon her, it might happen. But what was I saying? Where was I? I'm sorry. Oh, Molly. Yeah. So the hypnosis, I'm very much, my style of hypnosis is very much informed by my dreams, which are informed by the Akashic Records. That's where I access a lot of information. Even though I was doing readings and energy work and this and that, now I kind of mostly channel everything through my dreams and states of hypnosis. So yeah, and for anyone who hasn't been hypnotized before, hypnosis is really just a chosen and intentional trance state. And we go through trances all the time. They're not these difficult to reach states. We actually wake up in a trance and we fall asleep in a trance. And then we're in like 100 trances a day, possibly more, because we're on our phones and on screens all the time. And they're very much trance inducing. So, they're just natural states of consciousness that we're always passing into and out of. And hypnosis is really just choosing to go into one for the purpose of making changes or making discoveries in your subconscious mind, both of which you'll be doing today. And yeah, so that's my little spiel.
Awesome. Thank you. I'm so excited for tonight's hypnosis. Oh my goodness, it's going to be so good. Hi, so I'm Lindsay Mann, and I predominantly work in the Akashic Records. I'm also a Reiki master, a medium, and a big permaculture nerd. So I combine all of those passions to help educate and support the sustainability of people and the planet. So the Akashic Records, if you're not familiar with them, my favorite definition of the Akashic Records is by the philosopher of science, Irvin Laszlo, and he explains it as the electromagnetic imprint of everything that's ever happened in the universe. And the universe has an information field that is the Akashic realm, where we can channel knowledge, higher guidance, and wisdom from. So that's where I'll be drawing information from tonight. So we'll be opening the Akashic Records on the collective of humanity with a specific intent for the year 2022. So that's what we'll be doing with the Akashic Records tonight. The Akashic Records are also the vibrational archives of every soul's journey throughout all its incarnations. So if we're doing like a one-on-one reading, it's all of your past lives, everything going on in your current present life, and all future possibilities. So we access your records. That's the book of you, the book of your soul's journey. And in your own records, you can ask literally anything about anything. It's so wild and it's so fun. And as Des mentioned, she's clicking into the records all the time as part of her hypnosis practice as well, and dream guidance as well. And that is a really fun story that's where we met without even realizing it. We were in a class of like 30 learning how to access the records, and we just didn't realize it until a couple years later reconnecting on Instagram. So so funny. And also, Jackie, if you are available and ready, would you like to share a little bit of background and let us know, talk about the tarot and your particular deck and what you'll be doing with us today?
Yes, I'm so excited. Thank you guys for inviting me here. I'm so happy. I am Jackie. I'm an artist, and I am the creator and illustrator of the Midnight City Tarot deck. And what did I want to say next? Oh, I've been studying and working with the tarot for about a decade. And this deck that I created is a reflection of my experience living in New York City, seen through the eyes of the tarot. And just a little bit about tarot, just in case you're not familiar with it, or maybe something new if you don't know. This has been around for at least since the 1500s, and it's a collection of 78 little works of art that mirror the human experience and depict different archetypes that all play a role in different ways in our lives. So it could be used for divination, for personal development, spiritual growth, or a combination of all three, which is what I like to do. And yeah, today I'll be sharing a mini reading with the theme of the event today, which is transition. So I picked a card for 2021 and I picked a card for 2022. And I'm super excited to see how it ties into the hypnosis and the records.
Awesome. So excited. Oh my goodness. Okay. So just to be like really mindful of the time, I'm going to jump in to the Akashic Records portion of the evening right now, because we're doing a live reading with the records. And so what that means is I've opened the records because we want to make sure we get everything out of it, all the questions answered. I opened the records prior to us starting the evening tonight. So there's an opening prayer and a closing prayer that we say when we open the records. So I did that off camera. So the records are already open, and I'm already sitting in the records of the collective of humanity in 2022. Okay. And what I'm going to share with you, so while this is a live channeling, I'm going to list the questions that I'm about to ask ahead of time, so you know, and we're just going to go through them, because there's actually 8 questions. And the records even gave me these questions to ask. That's how fun the records are. So I'm like, what should I ask? And they're like, ask this, and this. So I'm going to be getting the information for the first time, as well as you. And so you'll be seeing me channeling and getting my visuals, my experiential information and words, et cetera. And I'll be sharing it directly while we're doing this. You can also ask your own questions, time permitting, in the chat. And I will try to remember to peek, or if Des, you can give me a heads up if there is a question in the chat. So if you have your own personal questions about the collective in 2022, just put them in the chat. So here are the questions that I'm going to be asking. And if there's anything that's missing that you want to know about, write in the chat. So the first question, what lens can we look through in reflection of 2021 that serves our future growth in 2022? Second question, what gold was revealed to us in 2021 that we can continue to nurture? I think I already got an answer. Whoa, that was really fast. Okay, sorry, it was distracting. 3, what harm was revealed to us in 2021 that we can bury as compost? Number 4, what themes or experiences are critical for us to be aware of and prepare for in 2022? And then, what tools and resources will be most valuable for our health and sustainability in 2022? And then the final question will be, what's the most important message for the collective during this transition from 2021 into 2022? So again, if anything is kind of coming to mind, throw it in the chat. I'm going to get started just because of time. So first question, what lens can we look through in reflection of 2021 that serves our future growth in 2022? discernment with deception. So discernment. So I'm getting that we have learned massive lessons on discernment. And it's not judgment, it's discernment. And knowing the difference between judgment and discernment. They're saying the importance of discernment. That's the lens. We've all become more discerning. They're saying more careful, slow down, intentionally, for the best for all. They're saying observe. Observing, we've been observing. Okay, so that's part of the reflection, is that we have become more observant. We have slowed down and intentionally been slowed down to be more observant so that we can be more discerning. What gold was revealed to us in 2021 that we can continue to nurture? Okay, so the reason I laughed when I asked this is because I felt scratchy in my throat, and that usually means like self-expression and your throat chakra, but it's also, this is your psychic abilities and your connection to spirit. So the gold that was revealed to us in 2021 that we can continue to nurture has to do with our expression and our communication and our connections. This feels like relationships to other beings. People, living, spirit, animals, our communication. That's the gold. They're saying connection is a necessity for survival. Connection and communication are essential for survival. So we've learned to speak up. We've learned to speak out for ourselves and for each other. I'm getting that people's throat chakras have been like cracked open. So what harm was revealed to us in 2021 that we can bury as compost? Just getting the word detox. Detoxifying, toxic. I'm getting toxic. I'm getting personalities, personality disorders, mental health. So, so the mental health issues that contribute to toxic personalities, toxic behaviors. This is the harm that was revealed to us. That we see that those behaviors stem from mental health issues. And that I'm getting, it's not okay, but it's a reality. And there's always like a looking deeper when someone is behaving, I'm getting like harmfully, dangerously, violently, viciously, that you can attribute that to some deeper emotional or mental health issue. Just I'm getting like, just to know, not that it's okay, not that it's excusable. So what heart that can be buried as compost. Okay, so that's interesting. Okay, so then the next question is, what themes or experiences are critical for us to be aware of and prepare for in 2022? They said mental health issues continued. They're kind of saying blaring. What themes or experiences are critical for us to be aware of and prepare for in 2022? They're saying the environment, the environmental changes, the climate. So I'm actually, it's like I'm being shown like a TV of like a hurricane, like seeing like the trees kind of blowing sideways. And they're just saying be movable. They're saying be movable. They're saying don't be stubborn in the face of any danger. And they're kind of saying with people and mental health and with the environment, with the climate, and they're likening them to the same thing. They're like, people on the surface, the energy of these mental health bombs going off is a similar chaos to nature. They're putting them together. And so they're just saying, like, be aware of the dangers, be movable, be movement. They're saying, like, flow with it. Like, they're showing like obstacles, like if there's like a rock in front of you and you're water, you go around it. You go around it. You don't mess with the thing. They're kind of like, don't touch the bomb. Don't play with bombs. What tools and resources will be most valuable for our health and sustainability in 2022? They're saying physical health, physical strength. They're showing, like, it's exaggerated, but they're showing this like big, like muscle bodybuilder guy, like with weights. And what they're showing is like, it's about this, like your posture, your strength, you're creating yourself as like feeling strong in your body, because you'll feel mentally and emotionally strong too. But there's something about weights, and I'm getting it, like, it doesn't have to be like this like heavy, like really like extreme exercise thing, but the weights help you feel grounded into your body. So something weighted to keep you grounded. They're also showing swimming. Oh, they're showing different types of ways to be physically active that provide a mind-body experience. So if you need to be more fluid in like water, they're like, go swimming. They're kind of saying, like, ask your body what it needs to feel safe and strong and secure. And that's how you move your body. That's what you do for your body. They're just saying, ask your body what it needs every day. Do you need to rest? Do you need to sleep? Do you need to not eat that? Do you need to not drink that? They're saying that the reason for this, the physical strength and like limberness, is to help you feel aligned and comfortable and strong with any kind of turbulence or chaos that continues to happen in your body. You feel safe in your body. And with the food, I'm just getting, it nourishes your soul. So there's the mind-body relationship. What tools and resources are the most valuable for our health and sustainability in 20? That's it. So really being in our bodies and asking our bodies what they need. And I'm getting this, okay, so they're kind of showing a contrast. In 2021, the fear, the trauma, a lot of us bounced out of our bodies. A lot of us got really connected with spirit. A lot of us didn't move our bodies. Some of us did, but they're saying, like, they're almost saying like so many souls just kind of be dissociated from the trauma. And they're like, get back into your body. They're like, come back. We know it's scary, but like, come back in. It's okay. Like, you're going to be okay. And then the last question, what's the most important message for the collective during this transition from 2021 into 2022? It's interesting. They're showing like someone's head, like kind of being like sucked into 2022, while their body's still kind of here. And I'm getting like, there is an excitement. Like there's a draw, there's a pull into the next year, calling to you. Something big about next year is kind of calling us. Like we might feel our heads are already there. We're already thinking like, oh, like something cool is going to happen in 2022. Like I'm already kind of there and your body's still here. So the most important message for the collective during this transition, they just said, wait. They're like, wait, be present. They want us to like reflect and purge and kind of detox and kind of mourn or grieve or cry, anything that we have to let go of from this year, past year and a half, just kind of take a beat. They're kind of saying like don't be rushed. Don't be rushed into the new. Like they're kind of saying with anything, don't be rushed. They want your head to be on top of your body, not pulling to the side. They want you to feel aligned, and they're kind of like it's calling you. The something that's calling you, like that, you're hearing the call and you're like curious and excited, but they want you to wait until your body is comfortable. So it's almost like until like the whole body is like, I'm ready, I'm excited, let's go. They're kind of like, no, like wait until it's in alignment. Okay, so just because of time constraints, that's the last question that I have. Did anyone have anything in the chat? Sorry, I couldn't see.
No.
Okay, that's great. That's great, because hopefully those questions answered for you guys. And recommended risks. What are the recommended risks for 2022? They just said risks, question mark. What are you afraid of? Why are you afraid? And they said, trust yourself. And they're saying, ooh, they're playing with like risks and fear versus surrender and flow. And then they're showing that head pulling again. Oh, they're saying if you're thinking of risk, they're kind of saying don't be risky because it scares your body. So it depends. If I'm getting the sense if the word risk like brings up fear in your body, then maybe that's not the right word, or that's a no. I'm just getting your body does not want to take risks. Your body is going to tell you if something is a risk or if it's a leap of faith, if it's a surrender, if it's an alignment. So they're saying there's something with the word risk. But basically they want your body to feel comfortable with the decisions that you're making. So if your heart is beating in a scared way, not an excited way, if your stomach is, flipping out, if you're having anxiety, your body's not ready. Your head wants to do something before your body wants to do it. And they're just saying, keep your body and your head in alignment. Okay. Okay. Thank you so much. Just thank you. Awesome. So just for the purpose of time, I'm going to wrap up there. Thank you so much. That was the Akashic Records on the Collective of Humanity 2022. And Des, I'll let you take it away for the hypnosis.
That was awesome. Thank you. That was really cool. So hypnosis time. I recommend being seated upright for this and closing your eyes if it's comfortable for you to do so in the environment that you're in, knowing that you're really not going anywhere and your awareness is still in your environment. So if anything in your environment needs your attention or your response, you will be able to know that and respond to it. And just close your eyes when you're ready. And I invite you to actually place a hand or two on your heart to begin. And just close your eyes and tune in to your breathing for a few moments without altering it, just noticing as you inhale and you exhale, this rhythm that you rely upon without even really realizing it sometimes, because it's unconscious. But your life began with an inhale and will end with an exhale. And every breath you take is a microcosm of that giant leap across time and space that is life. Inhaling and exhaling, ending and beginning, ending and beginning. Endings are beginnings, and your innate subconscious wisdom understands the necessary cycle of endings and beginnings. Nothing ever ends without something else beginning. And if you'd like, you may relax your hands down to a comfortable position and allow your eyes to really relax now and roll back in a dreamy way, allowing your subconscious to conjure this scene in your mind as I narrate. It doesn't need to make sense, just let it be a dream that morphs and shapeshifts as the story unfolds. And so in the darkness of your mind, there you are now suddenly inside the confines of a small one-room cabin of some kind. And it might be a little cramped and uncomfortable here, and it might be dark, and that's okay because it's temporary. And you're going to step out of it for good very soon. But first, just notice what you feel while you're here, because feelings are gifts and guides, and uncomfortable feelings show you what you want to change. So notice the feelings that this constrictive space conjures up without really needing to know what they're about, just pure feeling. Just feel and note any levels of discomfort. And notice how your body responds to these feelings, how you breathe, the way you hold yourself, any micro tensions that manifest in your joints or muscles. Because discomfort is only a transition point at a place between an end and a beginning. And perhaps even if you look around this space that you're in, you might see some representations of the hardships you've endured, whether recent or not. But now imagine making your way over to the door and opening it up and stepping out into a beautiful forest with sunlight streaming down through the canopy of trees. And with whatever air is in your lungs right now, just breathe it all out in a sigh of relief. Imagining this air you exhale manifesting as vapor against the cool air of the forest as you breathe out any and all feelings of constraint or discomfort. In this momentary alchemy, in the visible evidence of the dispersing of your exhale, disappearing into the atmosphere of the forest. And do that again, just breathe out any and all feelings of discomfort and constriction now as those vapors again dissipate into the air, into the ether. This is alchemy, which is happening within you and around you at every level of nature and existence and plane of consciousness and state of being at all times, like magic. And so just let yourself feel lighter and looser now as you take in a deep breath of the clean, fresh air of the forest. And take in a deep breath of the sunlight streaming down through the trees. And this forest is what is known as a mixed forest. And this kind of forest is a liminal place. These forests grow at transition points between climate zones. And so this forest is comprised of both deciduous trees and coniferous or evergreen trees. And these trees coexist here in this type of forest, in this liminal place. Some with evergreen branches staggering skyward, and others that have lost their leaves and their rigid, bare branches reach out empty-handed. And as you now walk away from that structure you stepped out of among the trees, carving a crunchy sounding path through a carpet of fallen leaves on the forest floor, as you contemplate these evergreen trees, never not green. What kind of magic is that? Symbols of never-endingness, to be so stoic and steadfast, seemingly able to withstand anything through darkness and cold without changing their physical appearance. And yet that doesn't mean they remain unchanged. Their changes are just subtle and gradual. And then the deciduous trees who have shed their leaves in their dramatic decision to just let go, moving in solidarity with the seasons, knowing everything will come back new and better than before when the time is right and the environment is right, and their outstretched arms appear almost as if they're waiting to receive a gift. Each tree has its own internal, enduring life force that can be depended upon. And as you walk among them, with all the let go leaves that crunch beneath your every step, these too are a vital source of nourishment for the forest as a whole. Just as when you choose to let go, you nourish the seedlings of your dreams in the entirety of life that lies ahead of you. And as you move through the trees and crunch through the leaves, further and further away from that structure of constriction and all that it represents, imagine turning back to see it as it almost gets pulled further back into the landscape, drawn back into the distance. And as time suspends or perhaps accelerates, just allow it to be swallowed up by the wild nature that surrounds it, now engulfing it in whatever way makes sense or not, that structure becoming nourishment for the forest as you completely let it go. And you continue walking further and further away from that old site, crunching your way through the leaves and the trees of your imagination. And imagine holding your hand outstretched as a beautiful pine cone descends from the canopy of trees and lands right there in the palm of your hand. And imagine its texture and weight as it sits there in that hand. With pine being one of the most ancient plant species on the planet, the pine cone is the evolutionary ancestor of flowers, with the organization of its spines arranged in perfect sacred geometry. And it has held sacred symbolism throughout history in all cultures, mythologies, and religions. This pine cone represents the mystery of what lies beneath all the endings and beginnings, which is the eternity of all that you are, as in the never-ending cosmic being that you are and always will be. You are eternity, comprised of a series of endings and beginnings. And as this pine cone rests in your hand, just dream all of your dreams into it, all of your goals and desires, all the things that you know on some level you are absolutely deserving of, dreaming of what's next. Because dreaming of the future is the easiest way to be at peace with being free of the past. Just dream all of your dreams right there into that pine cone in your hand. And imagine this pine cone now with all of your dreams, goals, and desires, perhaps emitting a glow or a vibration now. And now just imagine pulling it into your mind, into and through that space between your eyes, drawing it back into your mind, into your brain as your souvenir and eternal, enduring reminder as you transit new beginnings. And with that, your forest fades into a memory of a dream. And you're now back in the darkness of your imagination, from which all dreams originate and emerge. And so you may now bring your awareness back to your physical body and the surface that supports it, breathing some movement into your body and opening your eyes up now to all the beautiful faces on the screen. Welcome back. How was that? Anyone? I don't know.
Always takes a minute to come back.
It's the total awkward silence after the.
Because it's just we're there, you know. It's like we're in it. We're still in it. It's so good. Oh my God. I feel like I'm still like so processing it. So I have no shares, but
That's okay. Yeah, that's fine. It was mostly a metaphorical thing, so it will continue. You will all probably get more insight later, and perhaps dreams, and you might not know what you even did there. So that's okay. That's kind of part of it.
I love it so much. Thank you.
Thank you.
I love how your words just, they're so beautiful and they just take you away. I mean, yeah, okay. Would anyone like to share anything? You'll also get a chance about the last like 10 minutes or so, or last 5-10 minutes or so, if you want to share anything from the hypnosis or anything. But if anyone feels like they want to share something right now, you can go ahead.
Fern, go ahead.
Hey, so lately all meditation things have been super trippy for me, and so yes, it was kind of like that again. I felt I didn't really want to be in that space. I immediately felt like my foot fall asleep, and then just kind of I didn't really want to be open to any of those feelings. So kind of even remembering them right now is kind of hard to use this specific word. But as soon as you talked about the door, I just like imagined seeing like flowers outside of the door. So that kind of like was exciting. And the sun was a spiral, which was really cool. And I was trying to enjoy the forest because I had this idea of like security of the mixed forest really called to me. But during that time, I just felt like also this like very kind of weeping feeling, which made me think a lot about the Lindsay, how you were talking about like being okay with mourning and stuff like that, which makes me think like I'm not really sure what it is that I need to mourn. But yeah, lately I have all these crazy visualizations, and even just like meditating, it's like I get tears. So I'm just kind of like whatever, used to it kind of, but I very much enjoyed it. So thank you so much.
Thank you for sharing that, Fern. You know, for me, just as an aside, one of my signs that I'm in the Akashic Records, because sometimes I go in there by accident, you know, like, or when I'm reading, I'm accessing other information, is that my eyes just turn on like faucets. So I start crying. And so for me, that's always a sign that I'm in there, not like hysterically, but there's just like a stream.
Wow, I love that. Wow, okay, thank you. You'll have a chance to share anything else in a few minutes. I want to make sure that we get our tarot reading with Jackie. Just being mindful of the time frame. So I'm so excited for this. So Jackie, feel free to take it away with the Midnight City Tarot deck. Yes.
Awesome. And that was beautiful, Desiree. I'm always like in a little bit of a loopy state after hypnosis, so just don't mind that. So I pulled 2 cards for one for 2021 and one for 2022. So I did some shuffling earlier today, and for 2021, I asked, let me make sure I'm saying this right. What is our hidden gem and what can we release? So we got the 8 of Swords, which is really interesting. So this person, you can see they're on the subway platform, they're caged in, they're blocked in between all these swords and other people, they're constricted by their scarf. It's a very uncomfortable feeling, but the interesting part and the key to this card is that it's really a mental block. So even though all of these things are really real and tangible that are making us feel this way, we have the power to shift our mindset and we can release. That's kind of what I was thinking it was saying about the release. It's like we can shift this old mindset and the old paradigms that go with it and step away and have this whole new thing happen. So that's definitely the hidden gem, is that we're not actually stuck there at all. So I thought that was so beautiful. And then our card for 2022, I asked what seeds might be ready for growth. And this was also really adorable. We have the 7 of coins, which we could see we literally planted seeds that grew into our tomato plants. So I thought that was like so lovely, amazing. So this card, let me look at my notes and make sure I'm saying everything I wanted to say. We're taking a step back from our gardening and our hard work. Obviously, this takes so much effort. If you've ever tried to grow tomatoes on a balcony in New York City, it's not an easy task. And there's a lot of faith involved in gardening. You plant your seeds and you do all the right things, you nurture them, and you really just have to hope for the best that they're going to turn into these beautiful plants. So this is reminding us to have faith that things will work out instead of having fear, which I think is really cool. Turning back to the Akashic Records reading. And let's see, we want to be proud of how far we've come and recognize that we have the skills to make all these things. We were tenacious, we were prepared, we did all of this, and this was just an empty balcony and we created this beautiful little garden. So if we can do that, what else can we do? So I would also recommend starting a little garden next year. I think it was saying that too. So thank you guys.
Thank you so much, Jackie. That was awesome. I love them. I love your cards. The deck is awesome.
Yeah, thank you so much. Yeah, absolutely love your deck. Obsessed with it. It makes me so happy. It's like you go through it and you see all these like landmark experiences from being in the city. It's so sweet. It's like such an ode to the city. And yeah, thank you. And oh my goodness, those messages. I really felt those. So I love how, you know, hypnosis and the Akashic Records and tarot and like all the different modalities, like anything can they just seamlessly tell a story. So I feel really good. There's so much to process, right? We're already like almost at the end of the hour together. And I feel like it went so quickly and there was a lot of information in there, you know, and a lot for us to process.